In today's video, let's talk about living choices after 60. One of the major questions often seniors face and their families face about senior housing is, should they buy an apartment or should they rent an apartment for senior living? Namaste. My name is Dr. Muralidhara. I'm a senior living consultant with over 20 years of experience in senior living, assisted living and senior care. In today's video, let's explore about the positives and negatives of both the models, buying an apartment and renting an apartment. At first glance, buying looks more attractive because it gives stability and the house becomes your own, whereas renting a senior living apartment becoming more popular in India because of the flexibility it offers, and it is not asking for trapping your money for a longer period. So in today's video, let's break down the entire thing into multiple areas. What are the costs that are involved, what is the risk that is involved, what is the stability, etc., etc. First, let's talk about the capital investment or capital outlay. In buying model, the capital outlay is very heavy because you are buying the apartment, and there would be the purchase price that would be involved. There would be certain deposits that would be involved. There would be a stamp duty. There is a registration fee, etc., etc. And as on today in India, starting from affordable segment of senior living to luxury segment of senior living, it ranges anywhere between 40 lakhs and it goes up to 3 crores, as of now in India. Whereas if you are renting a senior living apartment, so the capital outlay will be much lesser, where depending upon the model, whether it is lease model or rental model, there would be one-time upfront deposit, probably ranging anywhere between 5 lakhs to 50 lakhs, depending upon the quality of life that is offered in that particular community or the kind of accommodation that is offered. So in other words to say, in rental model, the kind of capital outlay that is required is comparatively lower. Second part, what we need to consider is our monthly outgoing cost or the yearly cost that is involved in this. In a buying model, there would be maintenance cost, there would be cost that would be involved with the services, sometimes as a bundled package, sometimes it would be pay-by-use packages. And of course, there will be some additional costs of maintaining the apartment. There would be some additional costs for property taxes, etc., etc. These costs would range anywhere between 5,000 rupees to a lakh and half, depending upon the kind of community which you choose, depending upon the kind of services which are offered. But compared to the rental model, the monthly cost in ownership model or the buyout model is comparatively lesser. Whereas in the rental model, the monthly cost will be much higher because the rental model is largely dependent on services. They promote more services. They offer more services as a bundled package. So in the monthly cost, what all things that would be involved, like your stay and the services costs, your food, and probably host of various other services like medical, housekeeping, etc., etc. So in rental model, the number of services that are offered are higher. So the service charges per month would be comparatively higher compared to the ownership model. In many senior living communities on ownership model, they offer services on a tiered model or a pay-by-use model as well. Compared to this, on rental model, usually they offer services as a bundled package. When I say bundle package, that involves the stay or the rental of the apartment, services bundled into one, like there will be housekeeping services, there will be some medical services, there will be concierge services, there will be the dining services, etc. And since it's a service-rich model when it comes to rental model, the rates would range anywhere between 15,000 rupees to lakh and half for this particular model. Next factor is flexibility and mobility or liquidity. So when it comes to flexibility, the ownership model is less flexible because you have already purchased the apartment. the liquidity of the apartment depends upon if you get a buyer. So in other words to say, if you don't like the apartment or if you don't like the community after buying, it would be very difficult for you to move out. Whereas in rental model, it is possible for you to test it out maybe for a month or 2 months. Whether you like the property, if you don't like the property, you can move out of the property. So that's the flexibility that is available with the rental model. So whereas, it also offers you, in addition to this kind of movability, it also offers you in case of life stage requirements, like, you need additional care, you need to move into assisted living community over a period of time. So that flexibility also is comparatively easier and better in a rental model. The next aspect we need to consider is investment, ownership, and asset value. In ownership model, the house belongs to you. So over a period of time, the asset may appreciate value, and you may have resale value, though it is notional, and you can pass on the inheritance to somebody in the future. And in rental model, there is no ownership, so there is no appreciation that would happen to your investment, though the investment may be substantial in some cases. Next aspect is security and stability. In ownership model, since you own the house, the stability is higher, plus the emotional value of owning the property is very high. In rental model, though in some cases the rental period or long-term leasing period can take care of the stability, but however you don't have full control over the property. Next aspect to consider is risk and uncertainties. In the ownership model, since the house belongs to you, it is more stable, but however it is subject to market risk, like the asset may depreciate over a period of time, the value of the property may depreciate. And once it is passed on to your heir, the challenge is they may find it difficult to liquidate the asset, and the actual realization of the value may be very difficult. And also there may be some restrictions to pass it on to a senior person who resides in the property, has to be a senior person. So that's the challenge. In the rental model, it is subject to market inflationary conditions. So there will be year-on-year inflationary increase in rental values. You have no control over that. Plus, there is always uncertainty that, how much the rental value may increase year-on-year. Next aspect to consider is customization. In ownership model, since you own the property, the modification of the house to some extent without structural changes, like you're changing the color of the apartment, changing the furniture, or some modification depending upon the aging requirements. These all things will go smoothly because you are the owner of the property and you have control over it. Whereas in rental model, there may be a lot of restrictions because the property owner may not like you to make any kind of structural changes or changes in terms of theme, in terms of furniture. So you have less control over modifications. The other factor which we need to consider is the financial opportunity cost. In ownership model, a lot of money is parked into the apartment, that is on the asset. So the financial opportunity is limited, the money is locked. Whereas in rental model, you have your money available with you because you are not parking large sum of the money, which could be available and handy during emergency situations. Next aspect to consider is maintenance and quality of service. In ownership model, since you are owner of the property, you have a say. That means there may be an RWA, there may be a resident's body who takes care of some of the decisions, and they have influence over quality of services. Whereas in rental model, you have no control over quality of services. However, there would be a full onus on the developer or the service provider to maintain the quality, without which they won't be able to survive. So quality of service will be totally dependent on the service provider in the rental model. So finally, which model would suit whom? If you are a young senior, probably in the age range of say 55 to 70, if you are still physically active, if you are cognitively fully active, if you are able to manage your assets, you would like to own the place, in such case, ownership model would be a better choice, because you still have a lot of life left to enjoy the property, and you have the energy and time to manage the property, and you are not bothered about management of the property. Whereas if you are a single person, if you are worried about liquidity of the money, if you are not sure about longevity of your life, and if you are a person or if your parents are in that huge range of say 80 and above, in that case rental model would make better sense, because your money is not locked, you have better flexibility and you can exit anytime. And for the next generation also, it's easier to manage after, as an exit option. I hope this video helped you to understand the difference between ownership model and rental model, and which model would suit whom. If you know somebody who get benefited from this video, please pass on this video to them. Like this video, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.